Right, then let's jump into something we've not actually covered in this program in quite a while. The second largest cryptocurrency in the world, Ethereum, underwent what's being described as a fork in industry parlance at the end of February. Essentially, it's a software upgrade designed to cut costs and the complexity involved in communications on its blockchain. Now, once the upgrade process is complete, miners should ideally spend less time and energy creating entirely new units of that cryptocurrency. That said, the last 12 months have been marked by a steady decline in the prices of crypto assets. Ethereum, for example, has shed over 80% of its value in dollar terms over that period. Bitcoin, perhaps the most famous of the cryptocurrencies, is a fraction of the near $20,000 highs that it hit at the end of 2017. Today, it was at $3,815. So then the question does become, is the crypto bull run effectively over and done with, or is this just one of those long pauses? Let's explore that argument with Richard de Sousa. He's a partner at AltCoinTrader. It's a crypto trading platform based in South Africa. He joins us now live from Johannesburg. Thank you for your time tonight, Richard. So Bitcoin down over 65%, Ethereum down over 84% in the last 12 months. Now that we're far from those 2017 peaks, is there as much interest in trading cryptocurrencies?
Well, what we've noticed is that we've seen this trend happen many times historically. It's certainly something that we can expect to see again in the future. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole, there's many ways to measure the success of that matrix. And what we are noticing is that there's a huge upturn in the amount of transactions that are taking place on the network. We are getting more Bitcoin wallets month on month. In addition to that, we are seeing a lot more hash power on the network, which means the network is strengthening. So despite the bear market and despite the drastic dips in prices, we are still seeing a lot of good fundamentals in the crypto realm, and we are seeing a lot of interest in the industry.
Let's get a bit technical here. Yesterday, Ethereum underwent a series of what was described essentially as hard forks. So what changes were made to this, the second largest cryptocurrency, and why were they necessary?
What we saw with Ethereum is the 6th and the 7th upgrade to the protocol. These two forks were called Constantinople and St. Petersburg upgrades. So it is a hard fork technically, but we could consider it more of a blockchain upgrade or an Ethereum block upgrade. There was no additional coins made. Now, what we saw was a lot of improvements to security and a lot of improvements to the protocol of Ethereum. However, the only noticeable changes to the man in the street are probably the fact that the mining rewards from the miners have been dropped from 3 Ethereum down to 2 Ethereum, which is a 33% drop, which we can expect to have a positive effect on the price of Ethereum.
Right, so authorities in South Africa, as far as we can tell at this point, do not intend to ban the use or the trade of crypto assets, but they did put out this rather interesting consultation paper for comment last month. Did you have any input into that?
Well, the Reserve Bank and the fintech workshops that were held with all the industry players like ourselves were very insightful, and I think that the Reserve Bank and the fintech groups really looked at what we had to say and really addressed a lot of the issues that we had to say. These workshops, although the consultation paper, you've got till the 15th of March to finalize comments, I think a lot of those comments and a lot of our input came in those workshops. The workshops, as I said, are ongoing. So we have put in a lot of comment, and we feel that the way that the South African government is handling this is very positive to crypto. They have addressed the needs of a lot of industry players, and we're feeling positive about the space in South Africa.
Right, let's talk about a market that's not as welcoming, shall we say. Last September, Zimbabwe's finance minister took a rather optimistic view of crypto assets, and at the time he argued that the central bank should be studying the asset class and developing regulations to essentially let it thrive. And the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has been pretty hostile to crypto assets entirely. So 5 months on, has anything changed in how crypto assets are used or traded in Zimbabwe based on the data you're seeing?
That's very interesting. I think what Professor Mthuli Ncube was saying when he put those positive comments about crypto is that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe need to investigate it. And he was looking for solutions to the economic crisis in Zimbabwe. And one of the many solutions that he looked at was cryptocurrency, and that's why he seemed to have a positive stance on cryptocurrency. But to answer the question more directly, not much has happened in the 5 months that have passed. This topic is still under discussion, and I think that it is unlikely that we can expect to see any huge adoption of cryptocurrency in countries like Zimbabwe. That being said, Zimbabwe and countries like Argentina that have been failed by the traditional financial markets and traditional financial systems are a very positive place for crypto to take on mass adoption. But I don't think that we can really expect to see much happening in the near future.
All right, one last question for you. And this is now looking at the broader ecosystem, because one of the more interesting ideas that are being played around now involves tech companies like Facebook and Telegram trying to develop either their own cryptocurrencies or their own blockchain assets with a view to essentially moving money around the world. From the perspective of someone who's running essentially a trading platform, what is it about messaging services like Messenger or Telegram or WeChat for that matter that make them a sort of ideal partner or ideal host for crypto assets?
Well, if we look at WeChat and Alipay, for example, in China, because those two messaging platforms or social media platforms have mass adoption, they rolled out the WeChat wallet, which was and is very effective with fiat payments, traditional fiat payments. So the natural follow on to that would be using it to pay with cryptocurrencies. But as we know, the People's Bank of China is not very pro cryptocurrencies. So innovation in that area has been very stifled because of that reason, with the People's Bank of China actually banning cryptocurrency payments on platforms like Alipay and WeChat. But there are very exciting things happening. For example, Twitter, with its 350 million users, now has the ability to tip fellow Twitters with cryptocurrency. This platform is not native to Twitter, but is a Chrome add-on. So the CEO of Twitter making a couple announcements about that has been very exciting. And obviously because of that, people have started to adopt it. Cryptocurrency currently has about 40 million odd users, with Telegram having 350 million users. You can see why there's excitement about that in the crypto space.
Indeed. Always good to talk to you, Richard. Thank you very much for your insights tonight. Richard de Sousa, their partner from AltCoinTrader in Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, let's